see the way I come around here because there's nobody recording, so I have to push record. It's high-tech stuff. Beer America is growing by leaps and bounds. So with that said, welcome to another edition of BeerAmerica.tv. I am Paul Leone here with my good friend
John Pinkerton,
who happens to be the co-owner and brewmaster of Moon River Brewing, where we are right now. As you can see, we're actually changed locations. Sometimes we're in the brew house. Lately, we've been in the brew house.
Indeed. Today we're actually brewing, so...
Yeah, so he said we can't be in the brew house. So now we're actually by the bar, and it happens to be during a weekday that we're doing this. And so, usually it's really packed in here. So anyway, you know how we go on and on and on about people who send us beers?
Indeed.
Okay. Well, actually, I got an email from the Alaskan Brewing Company asking us if we wanted a few samples. Now, if you send me one beer... Yeah, right, I said no. If you send me one, send us two. I feel lucky and happy that you sent it to us. Alaskan Brewing Company sent us this huge box of big beers. So we're going to do a couple in the next few weeks here. But the one I wanted to start with was the Winter, because it's still the winter time. And I actually cheated last night and drank a little bit of this and really liked it. So I said, John, we need to try this. So
right.
What do you know about Alaska?
Well, of course, they're best known for their Alaskan Smoked Porter.
Smoked Porter.
They've won a bajillion medals with it. It's a fantastic beer. It's one of those smoky beers that are kind of, people are either in or out on those, and that one's just a perfect smoky touch. But of course, we're not going to try that one today. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to try the Winter.
The Winter, and as before, before we start saying, hey, what are we going to do today? John and I will get together, and I'll say, well, I've got these beers, and I've got these beers, and we talk about what we're going to do. And I brought this up right here, and John's first thing out of your mouth was one word, or two words that jumped out at you. You said spruce tips.
Oh, spruce tips, yes.
Yes, you did. And so,
I was like, what did I say?
Yeah, you said spruce tips. So let's try this and talk about it.
All right, I'm excited. It's not every day you get to try a beer with spruce tips.
Yeah. And I said real spruce tips, and you're like, yeah, that's something you can brew it. So I guess talk about that. I mean, is that something that's...
It's, it hasn't always been that hops were the primary spice in beers. And we don't often think of hops as a spice, really, because it's just so ubiquitous as a brewing ingredient. But really, it is. It's one of the things that we flavor beer with. And so spruce tips actually share some of the similar characteristics of some American hops. You've got in American hops, you have some of those kind of resiny or piney characters. And so you see this kind of coming up in winterish beers. I know Anchor over the years, at least once or twice in their Christmas ale that they do each year, has featured spruce tips. I've only tasted a few beers in my entire career,
really,
with spruce tips, so I'm excited about this.
Well, here we go. Let's give it a shot. See, I can taste it on the finish. I don't know about you. Is that where you taste it a little bit? It's not pronounced.
Yeah, I was expecting a pine tree, but
no, it's not a pine tree.
I don't get
subtle.
it in the aroma.
Now, I didn't get it much in the aroma either. I got a little hoppy smell, but I definitely got it on the finish. And it's funny, I gave it to my neighbor. I gave my neighbor a little sample last night, and first thing out of his mouth was pine tree. I mean, he picked it up immediately.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, they really, and it was very subtle, and I didn't pick it up at first, because it is very subtle.
I have to be honest. I'm not getting it at all.
I'm getting it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm getting it very subtly.
I'm getting a really distinct fruity character that I'm not really sure how to...
That was my first impression last night, was
like
a fruity character.
It's almost like...
It says flavor profile, brewed in the style of English Olde Ale. This copper-colored ale balances the sweet, heady aroma of spruce tips with clean, crisp finish of noble hops. So...
Well... I should say first and foremost, this is a lovely beer.
Yeah,
and,
it really is.
It is, to me, tastes well made and well packaged. I often make the point of it, something tasting well packaged, and that's an important point for me because knowing just how difficult it is to get beer in a bottle without screwing it up. And of course, here in the brew pub, we have the luxury of not having to bottle it, although I'd really like to get back to that someday.
And you will.
I will. But having been down that road myself in the past, I know how difficult it is, and so I always like to make that point. So, very tasty beer. This is definitely a classic winter warmer kind of. You got this malt backbone. It is quite fruity, I think.
Yeah. What would give it a fruity?
My
flavor.
guess is there's some yeast character coming through here.
Okay.
I don't really know
Because
anything about
there's
the
nothing in
Alaskan.
here that says fruit, with whatever, brewed with whatever. But
Yeah, it's not really hit me as a particular fruit, but I'm getting sort of a nice fruitiness. Now, some of the beers that are higher in alcohol will definitely tend to manifest some of these fruity flavors.
Sure.
You get more esters produced in the higher gravity beers, and you also the alcohol can kind of throw off some of that character as well.
it's the only one I've tasted. In the next few that we're going to do in the next few weeks, I have not had before. But this one I actually cheated last night because it was a cool night and I wanted to try it. And I really just thought the smoothness of it. And it's only, I think, 6.4% alcohol. So it's a nice lighter beer that you can kick back and enjoy a couple of.
Well, so I was just thinking it was a higher alcohol beer.
It's not. It's 6.4.
I mean, that's a little bit higher.
A little bit higher, right?
But nice. I mean, it's just it calls itself an English Old Ale.
Yep.
I'm not sure that's what I was expecting. I guess I have the sort of the old peculiar archetype going on in my head, which is pretty dark and rich. And this has got rich malt character. Not a whole lot going on hop-wise, and I think it would be kind of a distraction if it was.
Are noble hops a milder hop? Or is there such a thing?
Well, yes and no. Noble hops are typically sort of known for their refined character, that fine quality, that fine nose, and also a little bit herbaceous. The hop character that's here is just kind of there for balance to me. I almost wish I could taste the spruce tips a little bit more.
It's very subtle, but I tasted it. Yeah, I definitely get it. Only on the finish, though. I didn't on the, anywhere else.
I'm gonna probably have to drink the rest of this bottle to find that spruce.
All right, well, good luck with that. And that's a kudos to them. And it's Ashley Johnston. Ashley's the one who contacted us and sent us this awesome care package. And we're
going to do some more.
We're going to
Sure
definitely
appreciate
do
it.
some more. Yep.
And
I wish we could
encourage
get
the rest of you breweries out there to
send
us
them
more
along.
beer.
Yeah, we'll definitely love to get this out on the World Wide Web and let people. And that goes. I'm not exactly clear where I can get Alaskan beer. I know we can't get them here on the East Coast. I am
That's
now
correct.
living in Fort Worth, Texas, and have not seen them there. So we'll have to do. Maybe Ashley or somebody can leave a comment on this blog and say, hey, you can get our beers here. That'll help out a little bit, and I'll try to post that too after I end up putting this up.
I need to give a shout out to my buddy Patrick Lineberry, who's stationed. He's in the Coast Guard. He's stationed in Alaska now. I know he'll be pleased to see that we're actually doing an Alaskan beer.
Beers, all the way from Juneau, Alaska. So there you go. We've got the Winter from Alaskan Brewing Company, and awesome, really good beer. I wish we could have gotten it here. I'd be drinking a lot of it in the wintertime for sure. Even in the summer, it's nice and light. So cheers. Check us out. Paul at beeramerica.tv.
Pink at beeramerica.tv.
And leave comments. We're on YouTube, iTunes, all over the web, and we're expanding.
We're all over the web.
We are all over the web. So cheers. Cheers.